Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a truly beautiful car. This is a Lexus IS250 and it's the F Sport automatic car. Finished in white, which looks absolutely stunning on these cars. This car's covered just 58,000 miles from you, equipped with the Multimedia pack, which is really sought after. So you get the sat nav, obviously the hands-free Mark Levinson rear camera, but it is an exceptional car, been beautifully looked after as well. Wonderful service history all the way through, as detailed in our adverts. 2010 59 car, and in beautiful condition. Front of the car, lights and lenses clear and intact, and still such a handsome, striking car, I have to say. Bonnet, you know, actually hardly see a stone chip anywhere on there. Near side of the car, absolutely smooth in the panels, no indentations, no car parking dinks I can see. Near side front alloy, obviously, you know, we're looking at cars now 13 years old. The actual wheel's really good, just light curbing on the outside. I want to show the car original because I think that's the best way to show any car as far as you possibly can. Near side rear alloy, very, very good indeed. And coming on the back of the car, absolutely lovely. Got this little lip spoiler, very subtle, beautifully done. And then offside of the car again, in terms of the main panels there, absolutely free of any indentations. Offside rear alloy, lovely. And then remaining panels, absolutely beautiful. These two front tyres actually not bad. They're just about 3mm, so they're both getting changed actually. So there are going to be two new tyres fitted to the front of the car, but it is in beautiful condition. Coming to the boots area, good sized boot, and it's been kept absolutely beautifully. As you expect of a Lexus, all beautifully finished as well. Coming to the back now, it's absolutely gorgeous half leather interior, which, like the rest of the car, has been kept simply wonderfully. Coming to the front on the passenger side, again half leather seat, fully electric memory seat on the passenger side as well as the driver side on these cars, but it's been given absolutely minimal use. So coming in the driver's side, again all very, very clean and tidy. Driver's seat very good, just a little bit of wear as you get in and out, but I mean, goodness me, it's maybe 13 years old, and that is in stunning condition. So inside the car now, as always, the engine's running, so the dash can be seen illuminated, to which, I mean, it just looks absolutely like new. It's incredibly clean. As you see there, sat nav working exactly as it should. Let's pop the car into reverse and get that lovely clear parking camera all working exactly as intended. Obviously heated seats, all checked and working. That really is an exceptional car. And then come across the main binnacle. Hopefully you can see 58,836 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video for a truly lovely car. This is a Lexus IS250 and it's the F Sport model. As you can see here, automatic. Just put the heated screen on, rear window on, sorry. Car's registered VU59OLB and with a mileage of just 58,836 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos is very simple indeed. It's to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they actually get to see the car we're advertising in operation. The reason we feel it's important is, like lots of people have been to see cars which have looked perfectly good in photographs or description, only to get there and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up. So that's why it's done. So coming to the car, an exceptionally well looked after vehicle and maintained as well. Really is a bit of a one-off in all honesty, which is why it's not going to be cheap, by the way. So, you know, for all those expecting to see it, you know, at the supposed book price, it won't be, because you don't get them in book price with the condition it's in, the specification it's in, and with the history on the vehicle. Like everyone else, we had to pay very good money for the car, and rightly so, because it's an exceptionally good car. Car starts instantly, push button start, settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the car at all when the engine's running or operating. The engines are stunning. units. They are really amazing engine. It's so smooth and civilized. Refinement is in a different league to virtually anything else in its class, as is reliability, by the way. I mean, they are typical Lexus. They're beautifully engineered machines. Sort of little dog's habit running out. But it's just got a kind of a flexibility, docility to it when you're tootling around or manoeuvring or driving around town. But should you put your foot down, it kind of responds with eagerness straight away. It's keen to get up and go, but without any kind of coarseness. The engine sings it with a beautiful V6 soundtrack to it, but so well muted that you can, it's almost inaudible at most speeds. Years down the line, people now start to appreciate just how beautifully engineered these things were or are. Engine then feeds through into the automatic gearbox. As you expect of Lexus, it's super slick and smooth in its operation. And as with the engine, reputation for being borderline bomb-proof in terms of reliability. Notwithstanding reputation, always do the same checks. Just make sure that when you're driving the car that the gear changes are indeed smooth. But more importantly, when you select drive or reverse from cold, there shouldn't be any sort of clunks or thunks as it engages, and there are none. It operates perfectly. You can pull it to the right and use it in sequential mode. It pre-selects the gear to match the forward speed, nudge it to go up the gears, back to go back down the gears, and again, all working exactly as they should. So coming to the steering of the car, obviously being a rear-wheel drive car, front wheels are unpolluted by drive shafts, so you get proper steering feel with the vehicle. What they've gone for with the car is to give you something that gives you incredible confidence in the vehicle. It's got a kind of an oily, weighty directness to it, which is the best way to describe it, which makes the car feel incredibly settled. It responds beautifully. If you want something mega sharp on the handling, then you'd go for something like a, dare I say it, an Alpha, or a BMW 3 Series, which will be keener to change direction. BMW has a slightly better balance in its handling, but the flip side is, to achieve that, they have a much harder ride, which, for 95% of your driving, this is much nicer. It sits in it's a real sweet spot for the chassis, because the chassis gives you this very compliant, sophisticated ride. It's firmish, but without being harsh in any way. But it allows the car to flow through corners with lovely balance. But at other times, it's miles nicer to drive than those two. But for someone who just wants the real hard-edged, hard-core car, you would go for those two. The other two in its class, probably A4 and C class, nothing by comparison to these in terms of chassis or handling. The Mercedes is lovely and comfortable and sophisticated, but is more kind of wooden going through the corners, and the Audi achieves neither, unfortunately, in my opinion at least anyway. There is no, by the way, rattles or clonks coming from underneath the vehicle. It shouldn't be there. It's as solid as a rock. Brakes, by the way, so to give them a good shove. Make sure no one's behind me. Really good brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for is good initial bite, which it has, and there shouldn't be any kind of pulsing or vibration coming back through the pedal, and there's none at all. Finally coming inside the car, and again, it's just, I have to say, I've been in a few modern cars, and yeah, they're admirable in lots of ways. Maybe it's a generational thing, but I detest the fact that with most modern cars you get in and you end up being distracted by all sorts of things, mostly this huge TV screens they have in front of you these days. It's just so nice to get into what is a very highly equipped car, beautifully put together car, by the way, as well. But it's just simplicity to sit in and operate. Anyone can just jump in, and within a day or two of driving, they've worked it out. I only scratch the surface of modern cars and what they're capable of, but more techie people might be slightly different. But it all works perfectly. Sat nav, you can see. It's really simple. If you want to you can do your temperatures separately. Hit the climate control button. That's nice and simple and easy to use. Likewise, radio, dead simple and easy to use. And it's nice and quick to operate as well. Dual zone climate control system again, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish. That pumps out lovely cold air, by the way. We checked in a nice warm workshop. All of the switchgear has that beautiful build quality and tactile feel you get with high-end Japanese cars. The sound system is amazing, the Mark Levinson. So if you like your music, because it's such a quiet car, it's not fighting lots of other noises. So what you can hear is real sort of distinct notes. And you know, I love my music, so these are lovely cars to sit and listen to music in. Heated seats, again, working as they should. Dash binnacle in front is your classic Lexus. Beautiful detailing, minimalist in the best possible way. So you just look, get your information, look back at the road very quickly indeed. And you've got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel with the F Sport emblem at the bottom of it as well, which, like the rest of the interior, is, you know, all but unmarked. It's in stunning condition in here. These are really quite special cars to sit in after all these years. You know, again, the motoring press, when they launch these cars and put them against other cars, would say, oh, it's your typical, slightly sterile Japanese interior, all the usual things they come out with. Yeah, actually, after 10 years or so, these seem to wear A, better than all of them, but B, seem to actually be a nicer place to sit. Cars, I used to think the Audi A4 was a lovely interior. It was kind of fresh, different design, but you know, I feel they seem slightly more aged when you sit inside them of their era. This is just beautifully done, I have to say. Car drives faultlessly. It drives absolutely beautifully. Whoever gets it next will be a very, very lucky person indeed.